Hey, welcome everyone. Forrest here. Thank you for joining us. First, I think it's first live recording for the podcast. So great. Hey, it's going to take some time and some effort for me to get some followers on this. On the video portion, the audio is doing quite well in the podcast. If you haven't tuned us in, Spotify, um, iTunes, Google's everywhere. We're supposed to be on every platform known to mankind. I don't know if that's true or not, but tonight I've got a list of things I want to go through. But welcome to the podcast. I really enjoyed this podcast because it's more of me, not me. It's a more of who I am. That's a better way of saying it. I'm just not a preparedness guy. I've been a business guy. I've been an investing guy. I've been crypto guy. I'm all these different things. Where I know when we were on PrepperNet or the Prepping Academy, it's all about preparedness. Well, this one's a little bit more of if I was to do a show, this is what I would do. So I'm doing it. Matter of fact, my mentor said, Forrest, don't do that. Everyone in this arena, they call it the riches or in the niches. Like get down in your niche and become the best possible person you can be. And I am just not. That's just not me. I just don't want to talk about preparedness. But anyway, I do have a few things, and I think the chat room is open. I'm not sure if anyone is typing anything in the chat. We only have a few people, but hey, again, this is recorded going into a podcast. So thank you for joining us. And you're not going to be disappointed because I do want to watch the slides. You can jump over to YouTube. Just do a search for the Privacy and Freedom Podcast. And if you guys can hear me, I'd love to hear from someone in the on YouTube or wherever you may be. But I want to tell you about the Privacy and Freedom Podcast. This is the 6th episode. It's a podcast that will help you break free from digital surveillance, financial dependency, and the system of the government and big businesses. Learning how to protect your privacy and build a decentralized income with a purpose. We will cover crypto, prepping, home-based business, faith, freedom, and all that. So, but yeah, thank you for joining us. So again, this is the 6th episode. 1 through 6 have actually done way better than I thought. And I mean, I have spread the word a little bit. So, but yeah. So let's get into this podcast again. Thanks for, hey, I would like you to subscribe, like, comment, share, put it up on your TV, get it up on, in New York City. I mean, just put it on billboards, just get it out there. I think it will help us all. You may not agree with everything I'm going to say, and some of the things I say may make you mad, and that's okay. But some of the things you're going to agree with, I guarantee it. There's going to be all kinds of stuff tonight, probably stuff you don't even expect. So, but again, thanks for joining us. So, first thing I want to talk about is this birthday parade, the 250th birthday parade. If you guys didn't see this, if you're a veteran, I would predict most veterans watched a little bit of this. I just do. If you're a veteran, you're going to need to go and watch the whole thing. I was a veteran, Air Force. It's not the Air Force's birthday. We didn't have planes 250 years ago. But it was just so much. It was not about Donald Trump. It was not about the Republican Party. It was literally the history of the Army. I loved it. I recorded it because I couldn't watch it with my family, but I recorded it. I watched it. They had over 6,800 troops in the parade, 128 tanks, 150 vehicles, and over 50 aircrafts. And it was a parade. And it wasn't like a China parade that you think of, or North Korea, where they want to show you the massive amount of people just to see the power. It was really the history of the Army and some of the vehicles they use, some of the units. And it literally went from the Golden Knights parachute team jumped out of a plane to all the way back to the Revolutionary War, and with, the guys in uniforms and these small units today that kind of represent that and carry the history forward. And it was really good. As an American, as a veteran, I absolutely loved it. And I think every American should watch it. And again, they said happy birthday, Donald Trump, one time. And then he spoke about the Army. He didn't speak about anything else. I thought it was well done. And Lee Greenwood, of course, did, his song like always. And it was I thought it was well done. People were complaining of the price tag. Are you kidding me? To rally the troops, the military people loved it around the world. They watched around the world, people in the military, and they loved it. They loved it, loved it, loved it. And that is reports of everything as military people in bases around the United States and the world were watching. And I thought it was well done. And it's going to be replayed, I know. Maybe Fox News or Fox. I think Fox was the only one that carried it. Shame, shame, shame to all the other stations that didn't carry it. It's called They Hate Trump, and so they wouldn't play it. Shame on them. I literally hope that, anyway, but the cost of it, some people said it costs $25 to $45 million. Okay, that's a lot of money. It's not a airplane, but it's a lot of money. I do know and confirm that Coinbase donated like $1 million. Walmart, all these companies did donate a ton of money. I'm predicting that when it's said and done, there were even like Miracle-Gro, was Coca-Cola. All these companies donated large amounts of money to do this. And I think that's awesome. And you know what? One Doge cut could have covered it. So I don't care. Put my tax money on that. So I do have a few photos just in case. Maybe it will motivate you to go and check this out. I'm going to describe this for the podcast people, but here is a line of military vehicles. There's tanks, there's trucks of all that's getting ready to go across. And each one has a story, each model in each war, or each, could be Desert Storm, World War II, Vietnam. It was just wonderfully done. The next slide is troops. You can see there's troops on the bottom there, old style. They had the round, didn't protect you from Jack. And then they had different troops just marching. That's not like they have in China, where one formation would have, 1,500 people. This was literally recognizing the history of the Army, and I loved it. And then next is helicopters. All these are like, I think they're Apaches is what they look like. A swarm of Apaches went overhead. It was kind of foggy that day, which was kind of interesting, but wonderful display of a military might. They even had horses. We still have horses in the military. Who knew? I think I didn't know this. But guys at the cavalry and, everything from it was just, I thought, wonderful. And you could it's like a history class. My daughter wants to watch it for the history part. So now let's move on into another thing that happened this weekend. It was called the No Kings protest across the United States. And okay, I don't mind protest. I fought, and so did all the people in the slides before are fighting for people to protest. That's part of it. So the only thing we don't like, I know people disagree with my beliefs. I know 46% of America hate Trump. The other 54 love him apparently, because they voted him in. But they don't. Everyone doesn't agree with my opinion. That's okay. That's okay. If we can't disagree, I mean, how how would that be if we all just agreed? It would never challenge us. We would never, here's what I do wish. And I heard this earlier, I think it was this weekend, is I don't care if you disagree with what I say. I've studied what you believe more, I guarantee, than you've studied what I believe. And that's out of respect. And that's me wanting to know exactly what I believe. Now, if everyone did that, they studied the other side as much as they studied their own side, I think it would make the world a better place. But I guarantee that I've studied what other people believe that I don't believe. I guarantee you I've studied their side, why they believe it, and their position more than they've studied mine. I'd bet $1,000 on it. So anyway, there was a No Kings protest. Again, I didn't. It's kind of. I'm going to go into this. I don't understand the No Kings protest. I didn't understand the concept. They should have named it "Let's Change the Law" protest. That's what the appropriate name. If I was doing the protest and I was a liberal, purple hair, blue hair liberal, I would want the change to be "Let's Change the Law" protest, because we don't have a king. Are you crazy? We're nowhere near a king. But I would change it. There were 561 individuals arrested across the United States. That means there was peaceful protest. Absolutely. Because, matter of fact, I think the locations, I forgot how many locations there were across. It was like, 1,000, maybe like 2,000 locations they did a protest. Fine. No problem whatsoever. So only 561 morons, idiots, in maybe 1 million people protest. That might not be bad numbers, to be honest with you. Because you get 10 people and 3 of them are idiots and will do something stupid. So it might not have been such a bad, number. But here's the thing. They should have changed it to change the law. Okay. Because I want to show you guys. Donald Trump. I'm going to quote Donald Trump on this because people are just not going to like it. There can be no prosperity without law and order. So in the United States, we have laws. And the law in the United States clearly states who we can deport and who we can't deport. Matter of fact, some of this is written into the law to be automatic. And please, please, please don't tell me that there's no due process, because there is. It is that they immediately, number 2 here, they appear before a immigration judge. They all do. The press is telling you there's no due process. Well, there's very little due process when you break the law. When this particular law, if you murder someone in the United States, there's a due process for that. When you speed, you can go to traffic court. That traffic court is 1 day, 5 minutes in front of a judge. That's the way it's set up. Well, guess what? How it's set up for immigration. It's in front of an immigration judge, and he can rule immediately. That's the law. So if you don't agree with deporting people, You need to vote your people in to change the law. Currently, the king, President Donald Trump, is obeying the law. Who did not obey the law? President Biden did not obey the law. He did not. He should have been, censored. He should have maybe even be charged for not obeying the law, but he did not obey the law. So let me just share a couple other things. Let's go back in time. Bill Clinton deported 827,000 people. That's a good amount of people. Bill Clinton literally spoke about getting illegals, and so did his wife. But now that Trump is against getting them out, they flopped. The Democrat Party was so for getting these illegal immigrants out. Bill Clinton did 827,000 people. Who followed Bill Clinton in the Democratic Party? Obama. He has laws he had to follow, just like Bill Clinton. How many people did Obama deport? Over 3 million people in 8 years. President Obama deported 3 million people. That is insane amount of people. That's a lot of people. Biden only deported 545,000. So as illegal immigrants were coming in, Obama recognized it. You can see it went from Bill Clinton, 827,000. Then Obama, he deported 3 million. Oh, Biden, if he would have been following the rules, he probably would have hit the 4 or 5 million mark because the amount of immigrants, but he didn't follow the law. He should have been impeached. He should have been thrown in jail. He harmed our country. Why would he do that? Why would he do that is the big question. And I think you come up with your own opinion. That's fine. I'm not going to interject mine here, but I'm just saying, listen, Democrats, you were once for this, and matter of fact, Obama was called the deporter, and now you're against it only because of President Donald Trump. You guys need, you just can't, you got to keep your platforms changed, and people see that. That's why you lost. That's why you may not win another election for 10, 15 years. So, but anyway, I think that's enough on the No Kings. Now let's talk about a major event happening. This happens every other week. I'm telling you guys. Major hacks with JP Morgan Chase. Everybody raise your hand out there if you got an account at Chase or TD Bank or Bank of America. A lot of people do. There's a lot of data. What was hacked? It can't be that bad, can it? Well, your names, your address, your phone numbers, social security numbers, emails, account numbers, credit cards. These are your banks. If you've ever heard me talk about my privacy and security stuff, banks care less about your information than Target, Walmart, Lowe's. They literally care less about your privacy and protecting your data. And you're going to, well, Forrest, how can you say that? Well, I'll tell you how I can say that. I was webmaster at Nations Bank that became Bank of America. I have friends that do cybersecurity for Amazon. Amazon spends, I would say, 100 times more than like Bank of America does. And they're a retail company. I'm telling you, the banks do not care a lot. In order, any retail outfit, they bet their life to protect your information. Do they fail? Yes. But they know that if they screw up, they'll lose a ton of business and their investors won't be happy. If the bank does it, they go, "We're sorry." No one moves. No one moves from banks. And the worst offenders of the world is healthcare companies. They are they I I'm going to say in the top 20 con jobs in America, because there's been like 5 since we this been revealed since Donald Trump's been in office. President Donald Trump's been in office. I'm going to say in the top 20 con jobs of America would be a thing called HIPAA. What a piece of crap! What a con job! All HIPAA does is prevent your medical records, your employer and your family members from seeing your medical records. That's it. Matter of fact, of the 30 different organizations or groups of people in the world, that would be probably the only 2 I would want to see mine, unless the work could possibly use it against you. I wouldn't want that. But I want my family to see it when I give them permission. But that whole HIPAA thing, and I read a story, Chicago, the hospital system up there, that and you can look it up, the company that provides rugs to the hospital, the clean rugs by the doors, and they do cleanup, and they just the rugs. They don't do the uniforms or towels or nothing. They only do rugs. They got access to patients' data because they have a contract with the hospital. You're like, how's that possible? Who doesn't have a contract with a hospital? So anyone else can view and get access to your records, maybe by mistake, maybe just requesting it. The HIPAA only stops your family and your employer. And I can see why there's times you don't want them to see what's going on. But they're also the 2 closest people to me outside of the rug company, the mat company. I don't know anyone there. Why would they have to get Bristol Myers? Why their drug company? Why do they need my health information? Why do you share it with them? I'm telling you, it is the biggest con job I've ever seen. So anyway, I'm just going to throw this out there. You're never going to get your privacy back. We're never, as Americans, going to get our privacy back. The only way to get our privacy back, there's 2 ways. One way you're not going to like. 2 ways you're not going to like either way. The first one is the EMP comes and whoop doops every record out there, and we start all over. That's one way. The other way is you have to physically take your privacy back. You have to take your privacy back. So I'll just tell you this. I'm going to make a statement that your phone number and keeping your phone number yourself is more important than your Social Security number. I can buy your Social Security number for $25 to $35 on the internet. All I need is your name and maybe the town, and I can get your social. It's just facts. But if I got control of your phone number, I might be able to get control of your financial institution, your bank, your investments, do 2-factor authentication with it. So your Social Security number, the best way to do that is just lock it down. It's called freezing. The government passed a law that you can freeze your credit. If your Social Security number is frozen, you don't need LifeLock. LifeLock is a con. So is Title Lock is a con. You don't need either one of them. If you can look it up yourself. I hate saying this, but I do offer a free webinar once a month on privacy and security. And we go through a lot of that stuff. And I also I teach classes on that. And it's one of the best classes in America, bar none. I'm just telling you, it is. I teach it. So anyway, that's the credit card. That's what hacked. You know what they're going to say? They're going to put out a press release, and they're going to say sorry. And if you were affected, you'll get an email that says, "Hey, we'd like to offer you free LifeLock." Well, LifeLock sucks. It does not prevent someone; it catches them. Okay, LifeLock catches them. It doesn't prevent. Freeze your credit, it stops them in their tracks. They can't. Which is better? I think it's overstated there. Okay. This week, also tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a day you will remember for the rest of your life. Here's the reason why. Tomorrow, the Senate is going to pass a thing called the Genius Act. It's a bill that will put frameworks to a thing called a stable coin. Yes, this is crypto. And they're doing it, and it's going to this. And now it's not government money. Okay, let's don't confuse that with government money. It is they're going to take a cryptocurrency or several cryptocurrencies. They're not going to. They're going to allow private companies to take a crypto coin and peg it to $1. So in the crypto world, that coin will always be $1, and it's guaranteed. You're like, well, what guarantees it? So let's say that RLUSD or is backed for every coin they have. Let's say they have 1 million coins at $1 a piece. That means the law states they got to have $1 million backing that. Now, it could be in like treasury bills, it could be in bonds, it could be in cash. It can't be in crypto. So it is guaranteed. They have the money that they say that represents. That's better than the government. You know, we're $43 trillion in debt. Do we have $43 trillion in gold? I don't think so. Do we have $43 trillion in assets? I guess if you start selling parks and monuments, planes, we might be able to come up with it. But so that's going to happen tomorrow. It's going to go through. They're going to pass it. Will President Trump sign it tomorrow? We're not sure. We do know it's going to pass because even when it went through the House and now in the Senate even passed it 68-30. That means a lot of Democrats even voted for this bill. And so so it's coming. Crypto is coming. Like you would like. Let me rephrase that. Strike that. Crypto is here. 92 of the top 100 companies in America, they're not in the testing phase. They have already implemented crypto in their companies. They're already using crypto. It's so like robotics. Everyone thinks robotics is new. All the robotics, it's past us. AI, it's kind of past us as well. AI, you wouldn't believe, everything. Teachers have like AI products. It's coming, it's going to get more mature, but crypto is already past us. It's not the future, it's here. I'll tell you, let me name a few things to just kind of, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Visa, MasterCard, Walmart, they're all using crypto. The NBA, the all the sports, all the tickets are going to be on the blockchain. It's so past us. If you don't know anything about it, it's going to take you a while to catch up. So you need to learn about it. And let me say this, that there are trillions, they say, look it up, trillions of dollars waiting to be invested in crypto. Trillions. Not only trillions, the number is around $3 trillion. They're saying possibly when this bill passes, that $3 trillion is sitting on the sidelines for the next 6 months or 7 months or 8 months. How long will it take to get $3 trillion in there? I don't know. But right now, the entire crypto market is only worth 3.39 trillion. It's actually down a little bit now because Bitcoin went down $2,000. So there's more money waiting almost than is in the crypto market. And it's just waiting. So what does that mean if $3 trillion went into the crypto market? That means it's going to more than double. Be a good place to have some investments. But don't get in it. Don't get in it blindly. Just don't go. I mean, a person we all know, not going to mention their name, the spouse was just conned out of $15,000. I think it was $10,000, but they almost got $25,000, but there was a breaker that literally stopped the people from getting the extra $15,000 just by luck. But I'm telling you, when you do crypto, then responsibility is on you. If you make a mistake, there is no customer service to call and say, hey, I screwed up. It is you take 100% control of your finances and you're 100% responsible for it. I believe you need a course, and of course I've got one, but you need an education or you're going to get rug pulled. Someone's going to con you. Something might happen. Why not pay to be very knowledgeable of what you're going to use the rest of your life? And you may go, well, I'm not going to ever switch crypto. You're already using crypto and you don't even know it. Visa, MasterCard, Bank of America, every major company, 92 of the top 100 companies are already using it. Okay. You're already using it somehow, or it's being used for the products you're buying. So anyway, I was also going to say, I'll give you a little suggestion. When you think of crypto, don't think of currency. Think of it as software. I'll give you an example. Walmart uses a token called VeChain, or it's actually a coin, and it's got a price. VeChain has a price. It's like 6-8 cents a coin. Anyone can buy it. It's offered in a lot of exchanges, but they use that for supply chain management in China. And you're like, and then done over 200 million transactions with it. And you're like, what? Yes, they've been using it for years. So let's keep going. Okay, so imagine now the market is 3 trillion. What's going to happen to Bitcoin when all of a sudden 3 more trillion comes into the market? And people are saying it's going to go to $250,000. Yeah, I could see that for sure. The market doubles. It's $106,000 now. You put more money in there. A lot of that money will go into Bitcoin. Oh yeah, Bitcoin's going up. I'm not a big Bitcoin fan, but it's going up. The whole market's going up. What's that saying? When the tide rises, all boats rise, or something like that. I could do a Biden here, but I'm not going to. you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, just don't push it away. There's a webinar at the end of the month. Hey, this isn't the sell for that. Okay. I do want to share this too, because I've talked to so many friends saying, Forrest, man, things are getting tough. Things are getting rough. What do we do? What do we do? And I go, hey, man, you can't put your hope in the world. I'm just going to sum this up. You can see you got to put your hope in Jesus. And if your hope is not in Jesus, you don't have hope. You have wishful thinking. It's so different. I can't explain it on a podcast. I can't, but if you got to have hope in Jesus and take his promises and live by it. If you don't have hope in Jesus, you really don't have hope at all. That's my 2 cents on that. You guys, I have a slide for your podcasters. Has a Bible verse, Isaiah 40, verse 31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings of eagles, like eagles. So I do want to cover one more thing here before we get into some questions, which I already had. I had a bunch of people send me questions, which was pretty good. I want to talk about the stock market, because everybody's like, oh, the stock market's doing okay. I mean, we had, I don't know if you know, we had the worst correction in like 6 weeks ago. I mean, it went down, and then the best recovery, boom, it went up back when they started signing some of these, tariff bills, and people are like, man, the stock market. Let me just say, the stock market is fooling you right now. Do not look and believe your eyes, because it's going to be snatched and you're going to be disappointed. You're going to go, what just happened? The market just went up 317 points for the Dow Jones, or the market just went up 294 points for the NASDAQ. What are you talking about, Forrest? Here's the thing. 2 years ago, we had the worst banking crash in our lifetime. It was the worst banking crash. It kind of went without a blimp. You would never say 2003 was the worst. It was the worst. And then they did a poll today, CNN. I don't watch, but I got the news from CNN. They're like 26% believe there's going to be a crash of people. 46% doesn't like how the economy is looking right now. So when people are thinking there's a crash, they don't like what they see down in the future, and the stock market's still going up, you're like, wait a second, what's going on here? It's smoke and mirrors is what it is. We were in a recession for the last 4 years. The only reason we weren't in a recession for the last 4 years is because President Biden changed the definition. He literally changed the definition of what a recession was, and we are still in a recession. So, real estate, look at the real estate market, man. Big homes, large cap homes, they're not selling. My realtors are kind of happy because they're not selling, but a lot of people are coming to them to list their house, which is potential income, not income. But the realtors are not getting it. They're almost getting it yet. But the big houses aren't selling. They're getting more listings. That's flooding the market of people wanting to sell their homes. The bond market is, on Wednesday, the Fed is going to announce they're not going to lower rates. Trump wants them to lower rates. A lot of people want them low. They're not going to. I believe the bond market and our bond sales, not too good. I don't know if interest rates will go higher. I think to just please the economy, they'll keep it the same. Should they go higher? Man, there's a good argument for that if you look at the real numbers. And look, okay, a few days ago, Israel bombed Iran. What happened? Well, the stock market got, whoa, wait a second here. It adjusted a little bit. And then what did oil do? It kind of spiked up by like 15% over the last week and a half. So 10%, 12% since the actual bombing. And so oil's going up and the market's going up. And there's a war breaking out in the Middle East. And you're like, wait a second. That doesn't make a lot of sense. So it just doesn't make sense that the stock market's going up and oil's going up. Gold and silver, I mean, it's gone up a little bit. I'm just telling you, beware. There could be a major correction coming. If oil goes up another 10%, if they block the that canal, whatever it's called, the Bering Strait, whatever it is called, it's not the Bering Strait, but they block that. Iran goes in there and blocks that oil prices will surge. It can seriously go up. I mean, probably up to, it's like probably go up 20%. And when that happens, that's bad. That's just bad. So anyway, I just don't want you to be deceived by the things you're seeing right now. Things aren't as good as the market and everything's telling you. Do I believe they're going to get better? I absolutely do. I think these tariffs are one of the greatest things ever. You know what? Also, just makes me so mad. Bill Clinton said, we got to put tariffs on people. Obama said, we got to put tariffs on people, and we got to make free trade. They both said that. Democrats were like, yay, we agree. Biden comes in, that 4 years just kind of like what? And then President Trump takes office. We got to put tariffs. Boo! He's a king. I'm like, I don't understand. People, get some. That's because, I'm going to make it I'm going to make a statement. It's going to make you mad, and I don't care. It's going to make you mad. Here is the reason why, and I'm ad-libbing this, so it could come back to bite me, but I don't. It's what I believe. The reason that the Republican Party, we have our platform. We've had the same platform for 70 years. The reason our platform doesn't change a lot is because we based our beliefs on what the Bible says. We have morals. We have someone has set the rules for us. When it comes to the Democrat Party, they don't believe the same way, and the Bible is the true word of God. So their morals change with the wind. Oh, we got to save the earth because it's heating. Well, no. Oh, we're against tariffs. Well, we were for them like 15 years ago. I mean, everything has changed. And but for the Republican platform, they have not. They've stayed pretty dang steady for the last 70 years. The only thing I think that has changed, you could argue the Republicans were for war back in the 80s and 90s, but I think that's even kind of turned now because we're like, okay, war is not good. Maybe we were wrong there. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. You may like what I say, you may not like it, and you know what? If you don't like it, that's where you go get your own podcast, and then you tell us what you like and don't like. Maybe I'm not. So let's go to some questions here. If you guys have questions, you can put them in the question you can post them there. I do have a list of questions. I'll start out while y'all possibly think of a question. Ask. It's not Stump Force Hour because that's easy. Come on. I barely passed high school and barely passed, 11th grade was the best 3 years of my life. Okay. So, but it's not, but if you have questions, I will be glad to answer them. Let me read the first questions from Sarah. Sarah says, oh, yes, because she went to my, she went to my crypto webinar. She goes, if stable coins become government regulated, won't they just become another form of surveillance? What's the difference between that and CBDC. So here's the thing with stable coins and how stable coins are different than a CBDC. Um, that is like a government coin. Current stable coins in America, there are zero connected to the government. They don't control them. You may say, well, they can control them. Well, they really don't. They're on decentralized servers, meaning the government doesn't control the servers. The government doesn't control the funding in the back. Can they control them through regulations? Yeah, I mean, I guess the government can control everything. Let's be honest. And in China, they control everything. But right now, with our former government, they can't control the stable coins. And so a stable coin by a private company, which that's what they are. Circle just went public. RLUSD, which is another private company, they control them and how it works and everything. So government, I guess they could overstep, but a lot of times in the crypto world, you will see when the government oversteps. So that's that question. So I'm going to go ahead and read another one. Jason, so Q, these are the first time I've seen these questions, by the way. I kid you not. I was supposed to look at them and Q put them together for me, but I just did not take the time to look them. And we uploaded it and I'm like, wait, what's the questions? So, I thought, you know what? She put these, see, look at that. Q, I did not, I forgot that Q, it's written right here. It says slides on. Okay, my bad. Next question, Jason. What's the best way to store crypto if you don't trust exchanges or the government? Is cold storage really safe? Yes, if you do it right. Cold storage right here. It's my demo one I do for my class. Whoop, 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 demo. Yeah, I do a lot of cold storage. Matter of fact, I would say that 50% of mine is on cold storage. 50% of mine is handled by my wealth manager. Don't think I'm rich just because I have a wealth manager. That's not what that means. I would not leave it on exchanges, though. If you leave it on exchanges, it's like having gold and silver that you bought and you don't have it in your hand because they own it. They're just keeping it for you. So, but I recommend cold storage for everyone. Absolutely. That takes knowledge. It takes skills to transfer what you buy from an exchange to a cold wallet. If you screw up, you can lose it all. That's why you need education. Do without it. That's fine. I mean, it'd be a costly mistake. Okay, next question. I'm not seeing questions, so I'm going to go through. I don't know how many we have here. I have like 8 here. You mentioned that Big Tech helps sponsor the. I did mention. This was in a class I did last week that Big Tech was sponsoring, and like Amazon and Coinbase. So what's the question? Why would companies like Amazon and Coinbase fund that? Because they freaking love America. I'm sorry. I'm not going to say that's the stupidest. I'm sorry. The question is, you mentioned Big Tech helps sponsor the Army's parade. Why would companies like Amazon and Coinbase fund something like this? Because they're in America and their business is secured by the United States Army. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay. Gary, if we keep letting banks hacks like the one JP Morgan and Bank of America and TD Bank, should I just pull my money out of the banks? Now, that's a good question, Derek. Let's talk about it. I did not know this was coming. I'm so excited about addressing this. First of all, go down to your bank and withdraw $10,000 tomorrow. Let's say you had it in there. Go withdraw it tomorrow. They're not going to let you. They're going to fill out forms. They're going to delay. They don't want you to take your money out of the bank. In America now, I think all banks are guaranteed by tax money called the FDIC, $250,000. Okay. Well, what if you put it in crypto, in a stable coin that matches the dollar? So you can't, whatever happens to the dollar happens. So let's say you take that $10,000, you put it in crypto. And let's say you use a company, an exchange like uphold.com, and you use them. I would trust my money at Uphold, which you've never heard of, more than I would at Bank of America. You're like, what? Why would you say that? And you worked at a bank. Uphold has 100% reserves on all the money that's been invested into their exchange. Meaning, if I put $10,000 in my account, it sits there, earns interest up to like 5%, and they have, let's say, the entire economy around the world just falls through the roof, and everything, and they still have my $10,000. They can come and give it to me. I can go and get it. They can transfer it to my, however I can. If you're at Bank of America and the banks crash, they don't have enough money to pay you. They have to rely on the FDIC. So they rely on the government. Well, if the government crashes, defaults, I mean, $43 trillion in debt, Uphold keeps a balance. The more money comes in, the more money they keep. And they try to keep it as 100% reserve. So if they have $10,000 in Bitcoin that people, or 10,000 Bitcoins people have bought, they actually have 10,000 Bitcoins. Other companies, other exchanges would sell 10,000 Bitcoins to all their clients and keep maybe 1,000 Bitcoins, just like the bank. All the Bitcoin people want their coins. All of a sudden, Coinbase and other companies are going to go, wait, and then they stop you from withdrawing anything. Exchanges do stop all the time, people withdrawing coins all the time. This year it's been done twice by by Bitcoin. 2 times they literally kind of like, oh, we're so bogged down. People want to make these trades. Why is that? Anyway, I don't see any questions. I'm going to go at least one more question here. Okay. Oh, wait, I forgot. I've got it on slides. My bad. Tina, how can I tell if my phone's been tracked, and what can I do to stop it without throwing it away? So, Tina, I've got good news and bad news. Your phone is being tracked. I don't care what phone you have, it's being tracked. Everything you do on that phone is being tracked. Everything you do, every time you put your finger on the phone, is being recorded. Everything you type on your phone is being recorded. Every place you go is being recorded. Every phone call you make is being recorded. Every text message you make is being recorded. Every email you make, you create and send and received is being recorded. I mean, yeah. So you don't have to, you might want to throw it away. You can get a phone, a privacy phone that runs a operating system called Graphene OS, and you can make a private phone where you're not tracked at all. I have one. I use it. But you cannot make an iPhone, any Android, without taking the Android off, the software off. You can't make it non-trackable. You just can't. You can buy, even if you Even, so they have flip phones. Flip phones, if you have the cell on, it can still track you. And sometimes when you even turn the phone off, it still tracks you. But a Faraday bag and a flip phone, I use a privacy phone with a Faraday bag, and I don't even have cell service. I use Wi-Fi, and I use my VPN so they can't hear my voice. They can't see my texts. No one's recording. It reports back to no one. But yeah, your phone is being tracked. Not only that, Tina, so is your laptop, Windows, Apple. Everything's being recorded. You probably connected your phone to your car. Your car knows who you are. Your insurance company knows how fast you're going. Your car company's selling all your information because you connect your phone through Bluetooth or through a cable to your car. I mean, your bank, everything you charge on your bank accounts, your Visa, your credit cards, your debit cards, it's all being sold. Everything you do is being tracked, Tina. What a great question. I have, I guess this comes from my privacy part. I have a webinar on privacy and security, and I have a course and it's called Disappear on the Internet. Other than that, everything you do is being tracked, period. Let's keep going. Don't want to get too far. Okay. Is the No Kings protest movement connected to any larger global resistance movement, or is it just a one-time thing? I'm going to say it's connected to the protest that they had when, it's blue hair, purple people, liberals that hate Donald Trump. It's the same. I would say that here's the funny thing that people won't bring up and they don't talk about it. I've heard a few people talk about it. I'm not going to tell you what channel, but the people protesting are illegal immigrants now with the purple and blue haired liberal people and the Black Lives Matter. They're all coming together. They're all protesting. Immigrants, they have green cards. Immigrants that are United States citizens are not the ones protesting. They're not out there. Most of them voted for Trump to deport these people. Like more than ever before, the Hispanic, the immigrants in general, more voted for Trump. And the number one policy they voted for was his immigration policy and getting these people out of here. So it's illegal immigrants, blue hair, purple, liberals, and Black Lives Matters and Antifa. It's the same organizations. And it's called Trump derangement syndrome. They hate Donald Trump. And I'll be honest with you, secret between me and you, please don't go tell anyone. Please, they can't help it. They can't help it. You won't be able to convince them. You can't help it. It's a spiritual battle. And it's going to look like we're losing until Jesus comes back. Plain and simple facts. Don't even need to repeat that. Okay, I'm going to take one more. Still, no one's got very few people watching live, and I knew that's fine. That's fine. Lindsay, okay. You always talk about living free in a world of control. Oh yeah. What's one thing I can do this week to take back more freedom of my life? One thing you can do, I would recommend something easy is to get a laptop and put Linux on it. That way, when you're doing things on your computer, no one is tracking you, recording what you're doing, and you can be completely anonymous if you do that right. That's the easiest thing, because you can literally take any laptop almost and put Linux on it. And you'll find out that Linux Office stuff called Libre is way easier than any Office. You can do everything on a Linux you can on a Mac, which I got a $2,000 Mac right here in front of me, or a Windows computer. It's easy to do, to set up. The phone is a little bit more difficult. It's not hard to set up, but that mindset just kills people. Oh my gosh, I can't have Kingdom or whatever them damn game. I mean, that stuff tracks you. You know, the one. Let me just tell you two apps. They're the worst. One of the two worst apps on your phone. It's called My Weather. It tracks your speed, your location, everything, and it sells it to everyone. And the other one's Gas Buddy, sells everything: your speed, your location, your data that you synced up from your phone. It just sells everything it possibly can. And there's another app that was pretty bad. But yeah, Gas Buddy and My Weather are like the two worst apps. They literally have everything. I mean, they track your messages. Why do you give them permission to track your messages? It makes no sense. So anyway, the easiest thing is a laptop, because you can keep your current one, your work one, and then create a Linux laptop. I would put Mint on it. It's called Cinnamon Mint, and it's pretty easy. That's what I would do. And then all your surfing and your emails that you do can be less tracked. We'll say that. So I know we have more questions. Do we have more? Oh, what time is it? We've got 1 hour, so I'm going to take one more question. I have no idea what this is. So let's see what it is. Didn't we just ask? Yeah. I think. Okay. I've heard trillions are waiting to flood in the. Oh yes. Okay. Yeah. Derek's in my class, so I actually cover that in the class. I'm going to skip over that. Beth, can we trust the new privacy-based AI tools, or are they just the same as big tech spying? Okay, that's interesting. Here's the thing. Do I trust AI? No. Do I use AI? Yes. I don't put any information into AI that could really be more compromising than I have already out there. I also have my own AI server, large language model at my work, where I can connect to and ask questions, and it doesn't share my information on the internet. It can go out and get information from the internet, but it doesn't take my information, because we control the box at my privacy company. But do we use AI? Oh yeah, like you wouldn't believe. I'm writing right now some things to help me trade crypto better through AI. But I go through my own box most of the time, and not the ones. But I don't trust AI, and you shouldn't either. But there is one AI. If I was going to use AI that is out in the world, it would be the one that's connected to Brave browser, and I think it's called Leo. I would trust that one more than any other one. Easy, for sure. Brave is your best friend. Brave has been doing things. It's the best browser. Stop using all other browsers unless you're a geek nerd. You don't know what browser to use. But if you're just a normal person like me, just use Brave browser. And then they have Leo built in the browser. Okay, is there any more questions? I don't know. Dang it. Sorry, Travis. Sorry. Didn't mean to. I didn't know how many questions you put. Travis, what does the Bible actually say about surveillance, loss of freedom, and spiritual reason to resist digital control? Travis, I've never looked up what the Bible says about. I mean, like 1984 didn't come from the Bible. Wow. I don't know the answer to that, Travis, but I got the question here on paper too. I don't know the answer to that. I will say that a lot of people have believed that cryptocurrency would be the one world currency during the end times. And I'm saying, nope, it's not. The end times currency is no such thing. If you read it and study it, it's a buying membership. Here's my card for Costco. Oh, I can get in now. Okay, I'll go in. It's not an actual currency, and you can't prove that it's a currency. I've asked the best of the best, but I believe most people believe it's like a Costco membership, that the Antichrist is going to say you can't buy or sell unless you have the membership card, and it's going to cost your soul. And but it's not a currency, so it's not crypto. Don't blame crypto on that. It's a membership, and it could be a mark, like they said, on your forehead, or your hand could be, and that's your membership ID. Let me in. So I'm not going to be going in. Hope you don't either. Let's see what she has next. Sorry, guys. I should have looked at these last slides. That was it. Okay. Woo. Well, anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining. I hope this was informational. I hope you guys, it will motivate you. I hope, just, a lot of things. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was entertaining. You kind of got some political views on me, which I do have political views, but mine are based on what I believe the Bible says, 100%. And it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. So I don't know. It comes out, and that's what I believe. So, man, we touch privacy and security. We touch crypto. We didn't touch anything on businesses and creating businesses. I should have put something in there about that. And so, yeah. But anyway, hope you guys please like and subscribe. I know we're at the end here. Like and subscribe. Share. We need more people listening to this good, positive information, I believe. Help me out. Join the calls. And let's take over America. No, let's don't do that. Let's just let's be blessed. Let's trust the Lord. And you guys, y'all take care.